Hello everyone, welcome back to the FilmHead. There are lots of survival adventure movies on internet. Today we will suggest you top 10 most underrated survival movies that you should watch at least once in your life. Then you will know how to survive in critical situation. Don't forget to like, subscribe and be notified from our channel. Let's start our today's topic of the most underrated survival movies. Number 1, The Grey. More than just a survival story, The Grey is an intense roller coaster on display, a thought-provoking, poetic, and audacious metaphor about the importance of friendship, tenacity in life, and the consequences of losing hope and faith. The Grey is surprisingly one of the most beautifully crafted, emotionally driven films Neeson has made in his career. With its simple but gratifying story, it invokes a sense of inevitability, the natural defeat pivoted by unbiased nature. The Grey follows a group of oil field workers in Alaska. After boarding a plane bound for Anchorage, the plane crashes, leaving only 7 men alive in the middle of the snowbound wilderness. Otway Neeson, a man whose job at the oil field was to protect the workers from wild animals, takes charge and organizes the survivors against the cold and the vicious, aggressive pack of wolves that inhabit the area. The plot boils down to men trying to survive one day longer, against the cold and the predators that stalk the area. The characters themselves are authentically complex, and they provide some of the most affecting moments in the movie, due to their relationships that they share with their families. Liam Neeson is the admirable star as John Otway, with his grounded performance, high intelligence, and brazen courage that can occasionally teeter-totter at times. Number 2, Apocalypto. Apocalypto is a unique masterpiece unlike any movie before it or since. It will take place within the top 5 survival adventure movies. A Mayan village is taken hostage by a band of brutal raiders. The villagers are to be sacrificed to the gods, but one villager overcomes his captors to fulfill his greater destiny. The plot is filled with action, tension, horrifying violence, and an air of mystery. Everything about this movie is stunning: the costumes, the sets, the setting, the musical score, and the exclusive use of Yucatec Maya to give authenticity and credibility. All of the well-casted actors gave excellent and convincing performances. Be prepared for an amazing journey back in time to a human world long forgotten. You cannot deny Mel Gibson is a great director. Intense film about survival and perseverance. Overcoming fear. I love how the movie symbolizes richer elite societies such as the Mayans. The Aztecs were warmongers. The Mayans were more scientific and studied astrology. The story arc was that much more believable given that level of detail displayed in the sets, wardrobe, and general backdrop of the Central American rainforests. Number 3, Manjumel Boys. The release of numerous noteworthy and well-regarded movies this year has contributed to the Malayalam film industry's extraordinary success. Of them all, Manjumel Boys is a standout as a very special film that offers an unmatched theater experience. The film, directed by the talented filmmaker Chidambaram, beautifully portrays the essence of friendship, bonding, and resilience. It weaves an emotionally sound narrative that deeply touches the hearts of viewers. The film invites audiences on a profound emotional journey, leaving a lasting impact on their minds. The casting in this film is impeccable, and each actor gives an outstanding performance that maintains the tension and keeps the audience on the edge of their seats. Based on a true story, the movie follows a group of friends on a perilous rescue mission to save their friend from Guna Caves, a deep pit from where no one has ever returned alive. The aspect of friendship portrayed in the movie was just spectacular. The bond between the friends and their determination to save their friend was heartwarming and kept me hooked throughout the movie. Overall, Manjumel Boys offers a remarkable cinematic experience that should not be missed. It must be experienced in theaters. Number 4, The Book of Eli. The Book of Eli is such a simple story but so complex. It's such a beautiful story. I think it's one of the best movies of 2010. Denzel Washington had so much involvement in this film, and it definitely shows that he is a spiritual man. Such a breath of fresh air in movie making during this century. This movie teaches us to appreciate what had been given in our present life, especially water, air, trees, peaceful environment, law and order, and even the soothing smell from the last shampoo on earth, that would be instantly lost in a dim of great blast of war. It also teaches us about pure heart that will guide us to be more human. The movie shows how God protects his sheep and keeps them safe while on the path. God speaks to us all of the time, but we need to be quiet, eyes closed and listen just as Eli does. Mix in some epic battle scenes and you got this movie. The Bible also has some epic battles and extreme violence, so it's not excluded like some may think. Like David and Goliath or torture on the cross. This wasn't a Christian movie made for Christians. It was for everyone else to plant a seed and pique interest. Absolutely worth a watch regardless of what side.
Suspicious of everybody. I'm Martha.
Number 5. Society of the Snow. Society of the Snow is a breathtaking and poignant film recounting the harrowing true story of the Uruguayan rugby team's 1972 plane crash. Stranded in the Andes Mountains for 72 grueling days, only 16 of the 45 passengers survived. This Netflix film powerfully portrays their struggle, blending beautiful cinematography with a deeply emotional narrative. The movie excels in its heart-wrenching depiction of the survivors' ordeal. The emotional weight of the story is amplified by stunning visuals that capture the stark beauty and deadly desolation of the Andes. A standout element of Society of the Snow is its music. Society of the Snow is not just a survival story, it's a tribute to the resilience and strength of the human spirit. It serves as a reminder of a tragic historical event that many viewers may be unaware of. Praised for its realistic portrayal, it avoids the Hollywood gloss of earlier adaptations like Alive, 1993, offering instead a more accurate and heartfelt depiction of the events. Overall, Society of Snow is a powerful and well-crafted film that is both heart-wrenching and inspiring. It's a must-see for anyone interested in survival stories or films that explore the depth of human character in extreme situations. Number 6. The 33. One of the best inspiring and heart-thrilling movies depicting the tale of 33 gold mine workers and Chilean government support deceiving the death and prove their belief. This movie is based on an accident that happened. Most of it is accurate, no one dies in the movie. In the real accident, 3 died, but overall I recommend the movie to anyone who is interested in Chile history. They had a rough life in those 69 days that they were stuck in the mine they barely ate. Director Patricia Riggin and production designer Marco Nino have done a splendid job. Though all the miners are saved, one could not feel sorry for the impoverished, and mining company, though not responsible, did not have a sympathetic approach. It also has a message from God. God stood with the 33 miners, and He is real as you and me. I would recommend this movie to anyone who wants to be inspired and see that nothing is ever impossible in life. Hailed as a miraculous rescue, this led to policies and laws being enacted after these men were rescued all over Chile and other mines. Number 7. The Road. The Road is not like other survival movies. It is deeply disturbing and hard to watch, but you'll keep on going till the end. The film's attention to detail is evident in various aspects, including the color tone, makeup, costumes, and art direction. These elements enhance the overall viewing experience, creating a visually appealing and authentic atmosphere. One of the film's standout qualities is its ability to portray the raw and genuine emotions of its characters. It refrains from relying on cliches and instead delves into the very real human experiences, making it stand out in a crowded landscape of fictional narratives. At the heart of the story is the love of 2 parents for their child, born into a dying world. The father and mother, played so very well by Viggo Mortensen and Charlize Theron, show their love with the ultimate sacrifice in 2 very different, but quite valid manners. They live on the edge of despair and hope, on the razor itself. Cody Smith-McPhee brilliantly plays a precocious child trying hard to make sense of his world, trying to espouse the ethics his parents taught. It's definitely worth watching at least once, although this isn't a popcorn and snacks kind of film. It's a cuddle up with a glass of wine humbling film that makes you reevaluate what's important in life and makes you thankful for your life no matter how good or bad, because this film perfectly illustrates the idea that things could be much, much worse for humanity, and instantly makes you grateful that it is not. Number 8. Unbroken. Unbroken is the powerful story of Louis Zamperini in World War II. A worthwhile 2 hours and 17 minutes of watching time given its historical content and the transparency of its conversion from Laura Hildebrand's biographical Unbroken, a World War II story of survival, resilience, and redemption, real accounts of war veteran / Olympic distance runner Louis Zamperini. A war drama so intense and gripping that it can only come from Clint Eastwood's prior confidant, fledgling disciple actress / director Angelina Jolie. It is true the film is harrowing and hard to watch in scenes, but it is hard not to be moved with the footage of Zamperini being cheered in Japan as an old man. What a full life he lived. A story not only specifically dedicated to one man, perhaps to all the warriors who survive a war-based situation and face all torment being held as hostage. A story that makes one realize that giving up is a sign of coward. Perhaps you should have that courage to defend and fight all your odds till you take your last breath. Angelina Jolie and the Coen brothers, and others should be complimented on this movie. The endurance that Louis went through, and a miracle he survived the torture for years. This is a must-watch, and the ending is truly inspiring.
I see you met the bird.
Number 9, Adrift. Watching a survival story that is also based on actual events is always intriguing. The terrifying event that befell Tammy Oldham Ashcraft and her fiancé Richard Sharp when they were traveling to transport a yacht from Tahiti to San Diego is the basis for the true survival thriller Adrift. Adrift is a romantic drama film based on a true story and set in 1983, about a couple who are stranded in the middle of the Pacific Ocean after a hurricane, and must find their way to Hawaii with a damaged boat and no radio. The movie avoids the bravado and heroics of other action-focused survival stories, lending it a calmer, more pensive, and realistic perspective. The intimate portrayal of the evolution of the two main characters' relationship and insights into their upbringing and personality drivers adds color and helps the viewer develop a stake in their survival as well as empathy with their predicament. This film was fantastic. Beautifully acted and filmed. Would love to know more about how it was done. The pace was perfect. Agonizing suspense on several occasions. What a girl! So sad and tragic. If you like sea films, it's definitely one to watch. It's an extremely emotional movie which makes it a bit hard to watch for some people, as it mainly is all about watching how they were suffering. So if you're not into this kind of movies, you won't like it, yes.
You're right, let's do it.
Number 10, Break. Break is a Russian survival thriller starring 5 20-somethings celebrating New Year's Eve on top of a mountain. Instead, they get stuck in a gondola lift on their way up to the mountain and make the best of it by partying hundreds of feet in the air over a mountainside. When the booze is gone, hangovers and misguided survival instincts take over. The runtime of this flick is pretty short, which indeed is great as the makers doesn't waste any time in unfolding the proceedings of the story. The thrill is good, but not to an extent you feel the pain of the suffering of the characters. Also, wilderness of a human being is rightly portrayed. The music in between doesn't go with the narrative and becomes a hiccup of a sort. The performances of all the actors were decent enough. This movie can surely be watched, and you won't regret spending your time for this, even though it is not exceptional. Also, if you are a fan of this genre, you will have good time pass. So everyone, that's our today's movie topic. Stay with us for next videos. Thank you.